Hello, folks. Welcome to Holding On with Holder, where I talk to interesting people about interesting topics. My name is Steve Holder, and I am your host. My guest this evening is Kelley Peter, author and golfer. Welcome, Kelley. Thanks for being with me.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
You're quite welcome. So tell us a little bit about your background. Who are you, and how would you describe yourself?
I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I've been a tennis pro for the last 35 years, and my book is about golf, ironically. I've pretty much done everything I can in the tennis world, and I've always been an avid golfer, but not a great golfer. So I always wanted to find a way to make golf more enjoyable for everybody else. So I feel I've come up with a system that makes it much easier for the recreational golfer to have a good time every time they go out on the golf course. So the name of my book is called Get to Golf.
Okay. So how does this differ from the handicap system that's always been in place?
Right. Well, for one thing, the handicap system is only used by about 20% of golfers. So the problem with the handicap that I don't like is that there's always controversy about, well, what's everyone's true handicap? And so with my system, we never worry about handicaps. It's always what you do that day. So everybody starts on equal ground with 0 points in my system. And you can only go up by accumulating points. So my system is basically a modified stable for scoring system. So it's like scoring in basketball. So in 0 points in basketball in my system, you can never get 0 points. You can only plus. So everybody starts the day with 0 points. And if you get a par in a hole, you get 2 points. You get a birdie on a hole, you get 4 points. You get a bogey on a hole, you get 1 point. So bogey is always good. Golfers, most avid golfers accumulate a lot of bogeys. So with my system, a bogey is actually good. Where in normal stroke play, bogey is not good. The professionals would not be playing if they accumulate mostly bogeys. So what my system does is make golf much more enjoyable every time out. So if you have a bad hole with my system, it's not that big of a deal. Where in stroke play, if you have a couple really bad holes, it can ruin your day. And I don't want your day ruined. I want you to have a good time every step on the course and be excited to do it again. So that's the premise.
So that's the premise of the book. Can you give us the names of the chapters to give us an idea? I'm sure it don't take a whole book to say what you just said. There's got to be more to it.
Correct. Well, it's the mindset. So GITCA, everyone asks what GITCA stands for. And GITCA stands for Gratitude Inspires Totally Courageous Acts. Meaning that we should be grateful for everything we've been given, especially here on Memorial Day weekend. We should be grateful for all the people who have given the ultimate sacrifice, the first responders, the military heroes who paid the ultimate price to give us the freedoms that we so enjoy and often take for granted in this country. So basically, the book's premise is have the mindset that you're out here in the greatest country the world has ever known. We should be grateful for all we've been given. Enjoy yourself out on the golf course with your friends and family. Don't be so uptight. Don't worry about really what score you get. You want to be competitive, but at the end of the day, no one really cares what score you got. They want to know, were you fun to play golf with? Did we all have a great time? And that's the whole premise is have fun, enjoy everything, be grateful for everything you've been given. And if you adopt that positive mindset, that sense of gratitude in everything you do, then everything is gravy. Everything is awesome in your life, and you're going to be appreciative of your friends and your family, and be able to connect with them. And I think COVID has shown us that we really need to reprioritize what's really important in our lives. And it's not our golf score, it's not the car we drive, it's not that how big our house is, it's our friends, our family, the things that are truly most important in our lives, our relationships. And so the book is about, yes, it's a new scoring in golf, but more importantly, it's about reconnecting with those closest to you and having a great time every time you go out and making the most of every opportunity you have with your friends and family. And call them up. Let's go play golf. Let's go out to lunch. Let's go have dinner. Let's go take a walk. Let's reconnect so that we don't get to the end of our lives and say, I wish I'd done this more. I wish I'd golfed more with so-and-so, but I just never got around to it. Well, now's the time to reprioritize and say, yes, I am going to golf with my dad or my mom or my grandma, or grandfather, or grandkids, or best friend. And let's not make any more excuses. And what my system does is encourages everybody to get out much more often because it's so much more positive to play with my system. Whereas traditional stroke play method is very frustrating. And people are like, I don't want to play golf ever again. That was embarrassing. That was no fun. My system, I have a formula which tells you which tee boxes you should play from. If you play from those correct tee boxes, you get infinitely more fun than you were playing from the tee box that most people traditionally play from. So that's the whole idea is I'm going to have you play under parameters where you have a realistic chance to score well. And if you have a bad hole, you forget about it. You pick up your ball and you go on to the next hole and you say, okay, I accumulated 0 points on that hole. I'm ready to go attack the next, 16 holes or whatever it is. And if you do that often enough, you're going to say, this is a lot of fun.
So your book is as much about having a positive attitude as it is about golfing, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's your mindset. Your mindset is everything in life. If you have a positive mindset, you're going to go way further than the people that have the negative mindset.
Yeah.
It's true in the golf course. It's true in life. And everybody knows I have a very positive mindset as a tennis instructor. When I'm playing tennis, I'm playing golf. Everything in life I do, I try and be positive as I can. And again, I don't want to be the person that at the end of the day, people say, well, that was no fun. I don't want to call them up for lunch again or golf again. They were no fun. I want them to say, I had fun out on the golf course with them, or I really enjoyed his company, or boy, wasn't it great to spend time with them. He really gave me some positive things to think about. And I'm excited to go golf with him again, or go out to have some coffee or whatever, and again, my big thing is don't live a life full of regret. Go take the opportunity to make the most out of every opportunity given in life. And again, we live in the greatest country in the world. The American dream is out there for all of us if you're willing to make the commitment to achieve your dream. And I think we take that for granted, and we take our freedoms for granted. And the book is kind of a wake-up call to, hey, let's go out of our way to repay those who've made ultimate sacrifice. If we see first responders, go buy them a cup of coffee, pay for their lunch, go out of your way to thank them, because that's so often looked in our community, especially now. And they're feeling slighted. And those are the people that we need to go out of our way to thank from the bottom of our heart for all that they've done for us, to give us these free and help us in times of need. They're our true heroes, that's what it's all about, giving back to them. And the ultimate goal of the book is to eventually turn it into a nonprofit where I can help the first responders and people with honor and children's hospitals, people who've been hurt in the line of duty, the true heroes of the world. That's my ultimate goal, is to be able to pay them back for all that they've given to us. And if I can do it to ease their suffering or pain or make their lives, that much more enjoyable, it's the least I can do. And that's what I talk about, sense of gratitude. If we all have that sense of gratitude, the world's gonna be a much better place. And if everyone's reaching out to everybody else and making everybody else feel better, it will be a much better place. And that's the whole essence of the book, is go out of your way to reach out to people, break through those barriers that we've been putting up, and really be eternally grateful for all we've been given. And if you do that enough, everyone's going to want to be around, and they're going to be appreciative, and they're going to leave with a smile on their face, and you're going to live with a smile on your face. And a lot of the barriers that we put up between us will come down. And that's kind of what I say about in the book, is what brings us together in life: food, drink, sports, anything to break down the barriers and allow us to come together as human beings. That's the whole point. And that's kind of what I'm saying throughout the book, is let's break down those barriers. Let's go out and golf. Let's go have a bite to eat. Let's do all three. Let's go play golf, have some drinks, have a nice meal, and let's do this whenever we can. And if we do that enough, we're going to say, man, what a lucky life I am to have these wonderful friends and family in my life. And what a grateful, how grateful am I to live in the greatest country in the world with these wonderful people surrounding me. And if we all do that, the world's going to be a much happier place, a much better place. And the golf courses are going to be happier, and the tennis courts are much happier, and every place in the country will be happier, because we will learn to come together and and play golf with a sense of gratitude and live with a sense of gratitude. So
Yeah.
the book is kind of encompassing life and golf and everything that's wonderful in our lives. And that's
Yeah. Now I can
that's a-
see where duffers like me would enjoy that, but I can't help but believe that the serious golfers, the one that always shoot below par, they probably say, well, no, I don't want to do this.
right. Well, again, you look at those guys who play in actual tournaments, which is really the people that actually play in the stroke play tournaments is less than 1% of the population. So for those people, the professionals and the really good amateurs, they may not like the because we all play scramble tournaments, and scramble tournaments are about as far as you can get from a actual stroke play tournament, and everyone shoots 14 under par as a team, and like, this is awesome. And those are scores that you could never shoot on your own. Tiger Woods couldn't even shoot that on his own. So the beauty of scrambles is you get a lift clean in place, you take the best of 4 shots, and everyone's high-fiving each other. You're playing as teammates, and you're like, oh, this is great. Well, my system takes many elements of the scramble and puts them into play. And basically what I'm doing with my system is I'm making this a way for the average recreational golfers to play and not feel that they're breaking any rules. And the rules are very straightforward. There's only rules, very easy. And most of the rules, most players already play by. Like first tee mulligan, most people play with. Most people will lift clean in place in the fairway if they're in a divot or in a hole. They're not. We're not going to wait for a rules official to come around because we don't have no rules officials. We're playing recreational golf, and most of the courses that we play are not well kept. They're not. We're not playing at Augusta. This isn't the Masters. Most of the courses I play, are $10 to $20 courses, and they're not. They don't have the greenskeepers to keep them in great shape. But my buddies can say, hey, we don't care. We're out here with our buddies, our family members, having a great time, hitting the ball around. And this is awesome. What a luxury it is to be doing this.
Yeah.
Most people around the world have the luxury we do have in America. So we have to take advantage of that and be grateful for all that we've been given and realize, hey, this isn't the perfect conditions, but that's okay. We're still going to have a ball out. And that's the whole point of the book. So will they really serious golfer poo-poo this initially? I think yes. But then when you see Phil and Rory and Tiger, hopefully if he makes a comeback, playing some practice rounds, I guarantee they'll play Get Your Golf. And they're like, this is fun. I can't wait to do this again. So I received a nice letter back from Jack Nicklaus, who may consider the greatest golfer of all time. So if Jack can get behind it, I've got a book out to Gary Player. So if I get 2 of the greatest the game has ever known to endorse it, I think people will say, this is a great way for recreational golf to be played. Not for stroke play. I'm not going to change the rules that the PGA has for their tournament secrets, but it's a way for the average guy to say, hey, you know what? This is how we're going to play our Saturday game, and this is going to be fun. No one's ever going to be accused of cheating. No one's ever going to be accused of having an illegitimate handicap. There are no handicaps with my system. So everybody starts the day on equal footing. And the best way to play my system is if you have a foursome to change partners every 6 holes. And if you do that, one feels that they, didn't get to play with the best golfer. Everyone gets to play with the best golfer, the average golfer, and the worst golfer. But you never know what can happen. With my scoring system, an eagle worth 8. So, a match can turn on a dime if somebody is fortunate enough to get an eagle, that your team can pull out a victory. And
Yeah.
so that's what makes it fun. It's competitive to all, but it's not cutthroat. No one feels at the end of the day that your ego's been put under the.
So how did you become interested in golf?
Why are you doing it? Yeah. I mean, most people think that playing golf is like a final exam, and I want it to be an enjoyable activity. It's a recreational activity, right? And we all want to play as well as we can. But at the end of the day, everyone's going to remember you for, is that a nice guy? It would be fun to play with. And that's the whole premise.
So has anybody told you that you're trying to reinvent the wheel?
Sometimes, but once they read the book, and they say that anyway, that's how we play anyway. So of my 8 rules, most people play like 6 to 7 of them already. So the only thing they really do differently is the Stableford scoring system that I got, which is makes it so much easier to keep track of everybody's score because it's always positive integers. You don't have to worry about, well, I got a 9 on that hole, I got a 7 on the hole. With my system, the worst you can get on any hole is a double bogey. And so instead of writing down a 6 or 7 on the scorecard, you write down a 0. So at the end of through like 12 holes, it's easy to figure out that golfer A has 12 points, golfer B has 11, golfer C has 10, and golfer D has 9. So you know exactly where everybody stands. So you know whether or not to give somebody a gimme putt on the next hole. So it's very easy, straightforward. A second grader would understand my scoring system. You don't need a PGA official out there deciphering the rule book, which even, as we've seen over the years, the PGA professionals often don't know the exact rules. So they often wait for a rules official. Well, the average Joe golfer, we don't know the rules per se, and we certainly don't want to have to follow them. Nobody cares. We want to speed up play. We want to play fast, want to have a great time, and we want to score well. So with my system, everyone's going to score infinitely better. You only remember the positive holes, and everyone's going to have a great time. And usually, almost every single one of our matches comes down to the final hole or two, the final putt on the final hole almost every time, because our system has a way of evening things out. So you don't need handicap. If everyone's playing from the correct tee boxes, then everyone almost is hitting the same scoring iron into every green, which should be an 8 iron or less on most of the holes. Well, you're going to hit most of the greens or get close to most of those greens. So if your chip and putting is good, you're going to be able to score almost as well as everybody else. So if that's the case, you don't need handicap. And then there's never any controversy of what handicap you bring to the table. You say, well, I did on July 17th, this is my score. I don't worry what I shot on July 14th or I'm going to shoot next month. But, this is why I shot this day. And then I don't have to feel guilty about it. I can enjoy scoring well. And if I have a bad day, I don't feel that bad. I don't feel that I wasn't honest about my handicap.
So what's the name of your book now?
But the handicap golf. Excuse me?
What's the name of the book?
Called Get to Golf. GITCA. Have a copy right here.
Okay.
Kelley Peter.
And
available on Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
Okay.
So, yes, sir. So I encourage everybody to get it, try it out. I guarantee you'll have the most fun you've ever had on the golf course. Everybody who's tried it out has said shockingly, like, I didn't think I was going to like it, but I love it. It makes sense to me, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sense of it. I'm trying to end controversy. I'm trying to make allow everybody to have a great time every time they tee it up. If you do that, my goal is the golf population to double.
I wish it was available back in the day when I played golf, because I generally didn't even.
That's what everybody tells me. I hear that all the time. That's what I hear everybody tell me. They say, I wish somebody come up with this 20 years ago. I would have enjoyed golf. And what I always tell people is most golfers play less than 100 rounds in their life. Now, most average avid golfers play, thousands of rounds. But how many of those rounds do you really enjoy? With my system, you're going to enjoy almost every round, whole premise. If you're enjoying most of your rounds out on the golf course, you're going to look at the end of your golf career and say, man, I had a great golf career. I loved my friends. I loved my family. I loved every opportunity I was given to play golf. Did I ever play in a stroke play tournament? Probably not, but I had one heck of a good time. It was a great outlet for me. It was a great stress reliever. It was therapeutic. And that's what I hear people say when they're done playing around with my system. Like, that was great therapy. Let's go do that again. Whereas most golfers that play golf get off the course and say, well, that beat working, but that's about it. I didn't have a good time. I don't know why I subjected myself to this torture. I'm not doing it.
I imagine
and if that's the case,
by
with
your
my
rules,
system,
don't
to
tell
double
the
the golf
golf
course around the world.
right?
Exactly. Well, yeah. Well, that's why you see all those golf clubs for sale at those consignment stores.
Yeah.
And people give them up.
Flea markets.
Game.
Yeah.
We're trying to get rid of them. Yeah. And what I tell people all the time is, if somebody gets so frustrated with the game that they quit playing, well, you'll never see that person again. So your dear friend that you used to golf with all the time, you'll never see him again because you ever saw him was out on the golf course. So I'm trying to keep friendships alive by making a golf system where everyone's excited to go play every time. And there's no doubt. There's no doubt. Even if your game's not quite as good as it used to be, you're just like, I'm still going to go play because I want the opportunity to play with my grandson or granddaughter. or son, you know, because I haven't done that in many years and I want to go do it again. And I'm excited to do it. So if I can get people excited to golf again, then I'll be successful. And I've already had so many people come up to me that said, man, I gave it to my dad, he read it, he loved it, and we're going to go golf again. And we haven't done that.
Sounds like a great idea.
Families back together. Yeah, if I can bring families back together, then I'll mission accomplished.
Yeah,
So,
great.
you know, and
Well,
I'll
I hope it goes well, brother. It sounds like a really good thing. It's been needed for a
Thank you.
long time.
Thank you.
So
Well, thank you so much. Well, I hope you read it and enjoy it and give me some positive feedback. I'd love it.
okay. Well, thank you for being my guest.
Thank you.
Like I said, I'm sure
Thank you
this
for
is
having
gonna
me.
be, I'm sure this is going to help a lot of people to enjoy golf.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for being my guest. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And folks, thanks for tuning in to Holding On with Holder. Please subscribe to my channel and feel free to share this video all over America, and be sure and check out the book and have fun playing golf. Thanks again, Kelley.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.